Welcome to Two Fat Buds, the podcast where two seasoned connoisseurs with more years under their belt than most strains have in THC percentage gather to share their musings on weed and life. Meet your host, two old souls unapologetically embracing the art of getting high and the wisdom that comes along with it. The disclaimer: the comments made on this podcast are the sole product of these two well-aged minds and do not necessarily represent the views of any guest or affiliates. So grab your favorite strain, kick back, and join these two old buds as they embark on a journey of rambling about everything and nothing, all at once. It's a potpourri of laughter, contemplation, and ideas that only come from a lifetime of toking. Welcome to Two Fat Buds, where the green conversation meets the golden years.
What is going on, everybody? My name is Leigh Hacker, along with
Skunkle Al. Hey, everyone.
What is going on, Skunkle Al?
Oh, man. Not much in my life, thank God, but boy, there's a lot going on everywhere else.
Ain't that the truth? Ain't that the truth?
No
what is
doubt.
going on, Carl? I see you over there saying hello.
Hey,
That's
Carl.
what's up? I was going to see we got tie-dye hippie, or the tie-dye T is joined us, which is the hippie. Thanks for coming over and checking out what we got going on tonight. Appreciate it.
Yep.
So how, you said there's a lot going on. You want to get right into it, or you want to bullshit for a minute? What do you want to do?
Well, let's bullshit for a minute.
All right.
If you don't mind, I
all.
had this all brought up, but somehow it got lost.
Lost. I understand.
Yeah.
Well, here, while you bring that up, can you toke?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, let's play our 5 count, and we'll toke after.
Okay.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Campfire. For those you don't know, the reason we say campfire is we're part of a group called 420 Campfire on Facebook, which is also a nonprofit that raises money for homeless vets. And when we're in the video chat, which is similar to this, if we all want to toke together, we do a countdown for 5, and then we say campfire, and everyone takes a toke together. So it's like virtually passing things along, which is always nice. It's always nice to smoke with other people. So if you're looking for someone to smoke with, join the 420 Campfire Facebook group and come into our chat rooms. And there's usually someone always in there trying to smoke with people. And we definitely smoke a lot. Let me tell you, we are smokers. We don't smoke at it. We just smoke.
Yep. All day long.
All right. Did you find what you're looking for? Because if not, I did stuff we can talk about. All right.
I found a couple things here.
All right.
Number one, according to the Marijuana Moment today, I guess the American Nurse Association cheers federal health agencies' marijuana rescheduling recommendation. So that's always a good thing whenever you have the medical profession backing it up.
That is correct.
Cheering things along. One of the other things, remember last week or sometime we were talking about lounges?
Yes.
Being able to go out and, go to a lounge and enjoy a smoke. Yeah,
but
exactly.
You smoke weed instead of drink alcohol. Yes, I'm all for that.
I guess New Jersey is approving the final rules for marijuana consumption lounges.
Nice.
New Jersey
stepping up ahead of the curve. What's going on, Billy? Thanks for stopping in, buddy.
Hey,
yeah,
Billy.
Man, that's great news. So back to the nurses. I read that article today.
Yeah,
that is a big deal for any medical professionals, whether it be doctors, nurses, whatever it is, to come forward and say, you know what, we're for this 100%. Yeah. And the rescheduling of cannabis and saying its medical benefits are good is a huge thing,
Yes, absolutely.
One of the things I think that might help with that is an article that I actually read from Politico, which is the federal scientists conclude there is incredible evidence for certain medical uses of marijuana. You know, for years it was a Schedule 1 because there's no medical benefits to cannabis.
Yeah.
They lied like a motherfucker. Because now
they
the
did.
scientists are proving that, yes, there is benefits to it.
And everybody else has proven it as well.
Correct.
Just on their own.
Correct.
You know.
Yep.
So, hey, Stoner Granny, how you doing? Welcome in. Stoner Granny in the house. Hi.
I've been a medical patient for 10, 11 years now since the accident, and I'll tell you what, if it wasn't for weed, I'd be dead somewhere. I know I would.
Oh, I'm sure.
And the only reason why I chose weed over the narcotics is weed. I can't die from too much weed. Worst case scenario is I cough, I get the munchies, and I go to bed. If I get too high, I might puke. I've done it once. I've greened out one time in my life from smoking too much. It happens. But yeah, I'm not going to die from it. You know, I've always said when I used to be on TikTok every night, I would tell people flat out, if you want to compare Tylenol to weed, weed is safer than Tylenol. What do you mean weed safer than Tylenol? Simple. I will take an ounce of weed, sit there and smoke that whole ounce back to back to back to back to back until it's gone.
Yep.
You take that bottle of Tylenol, you take every pill back to back to back until it's gone. And tomorrow morning, after we go to bed tomorrow morning, let's see who wakes up.
Yeah. Exactly.
You can overdose on Tylenol. You cannot overdose on weed. Weed is safer than Tylenol.
You are correct.
But yeah, so the scientists have determined that, yes, there is medical benefits. And basically what that means is for years, our government lied to us.
Yeah.
Right through their teeth.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no doubt.
Politicians for all those years. Fuck them.
There's an article about the Missouri courts asked for $3.7 million to continue expunging past marijuana convictions. How about that?
That's great. But why is it costing so much?
I know.
For them to have a couple of judges and a couple of attorneys go through all the cases and pull out the ones that the only thing they got popped for was a little bit of weed.
Yeah.
You know, and they just put a stamp on it, expunged.
Yep.
And they hand it off to a clerk and say, notify this person that their records have been expunged or this charge has been expunged off their record. And if they're in prison for it, let them out now.
Yep.
Now, just let them out. There shouldn't be.
Excuse me.
There should be an easy way for them to go to a computer because everything's computerized nowadays, and then to look up mofos that are in prison just for having cannabis, whether it was over the legal limit or not. They went to prison for just having cannabis. Let them out.
They did, and absolutely let them out. That's bullshit to be in jail for cannabis consumption or even.
I don't give a crap if they were even selling it.
Yeah.
What harm were they doing? They were giving someone else the benefit of cannabis. They couldn't find it themselves or grow it themselves. Screw all the bullshit. Even just the pot growers. Let them out.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
You know, if they didn't break into someone's house and rob them and then they got arrested and there was weed found on them and they got a weed charge, you know, that's one thing. But if they were driving down the road and they accidentally went over the double yellow line or had a light out in their car, whatever, the cop pulled them over. It smells like weed in here. We need to search your car, and they found weed. Those are the people they just need to let out. Period.
Absolutely.
Prisons do make big money.
Prisons make big money. Carl. Absolutely.
I agree with that. And that's what it's all about is the money, buddy. All about the money. So you're right. You're right. But come on now. It's weed.
Yeah.
24 states are recreational right now. 24 states are recreational. Ohio is number 24.
That's
almost
awesome.
Half of the United States is recreational. Let those motherfuckers out of prison, period.
Yeah, absolutely. Let me see what else. What do you got? Do you have anything tonight? I know you've been busier than a mofo.
I have been, but I also while I'm busy, keep up with updates on what's going on in the world of cannabis, man. Let's see, Minnesota marijuana regulators This is also for Marijuana Moment, which is now my favorite thing to read on a daily basis. Minnesota marijuana regulators recommend fixes to the legalization law to speed up licensing and open a minimum of 381 retailers in their state. Now, Minnesota did pass recreational, but they were having issues getting licenses and making agreements on this stuff. And finally, regulators are saying, "Hey, let's fix this this legislation so that we can get this going and give these people what they want and start making the money." Because I'll tell you what, these states, I can go back and look up a couple of states, but we're talking millions of dollars just in the month of December.
Yeah.
Illinois, if I'm not mistaken, was $213 million for the year of 2023. I think it was like 12 million of that came in just the month of December.
Yeah.
And sales.
Yep. Yeah.
You know how much taxes that is on that? It's nuts. It's nuts.
No clue.
Yeah.
No clue.
Yep.
Where was it? I just saw this in Marijuana Moment too. North Carolina appeals courts confronts whether smell of marijuana establishes probable cause for search.
And you know what? There is other states that federal judges, and I can't remember what state it was, but a federal judge stated that the smell of marijuana is not a reason to search someone's car. So it's already been stated by a federal judge. So these other states need to follow along with that. Did you read that whole article about the young man that got stopped? He also had cocaine. He had other things. But they wouldn't have found any of it. And I'm not saying he's right for having cocaine. You know, I don't think anyone, that's hard drugs.
Yeah, right.
I'm against. But they would have never found that if they wanted to search his car, and they'd never search his car if it weren't for them saying, we're going to search the car because it smells like weed. Yeah. Man, I just left my homeboy's house. Yeah, it must smell like weed because we were token. Yep. Am I intoxicated? No. Can I drive? Yes. But just because my clothes still smells like weed, you're going to pull me over for a broken headlight, I think it was.
Yeah.
And then smell the weed on me, or he was speeding, it was something. And because they smelled the weed on him, they searched his whole car, and that whole case now needs to be thrown out of court. Period.
Absolutely.
Period.
I agree.
It was an illegal search.
Yep.
It was an illegal search. Now, Carl wants to know, is there anything new about weed in PA? You know, Carl, I haven't seen anything recently about the weed in PA. I did see an article, and we talked about this, I think it was on our first live podcast, that they are trying to make it easier for medical patients that have their medical card not to get DUIs because it's in their system. Because, weed stays in your system for 30 days if you smoke it. And if you smoke a lot, which most of us do, especially medical patients, because, we take it for what we need it for. Whether it be pain, PTSD, whatever it is you're smoking for, cancer, chronic pain, whatever. It's going to be in your system. And if you smoke a lot like we do, it's going to be a high amount in your system. Doesn't mean we can't function. So they're trying to make it harder for medical marijuana patients to get DUIs in the state of Pennsylvania, which is amazing. Is amazing, if you ask me.
Absolutely. And as it should be.
It should definitely be. But I just read, let me see if I brought that article with me. Scientists and... Nope, that's not the one. Give me a second. Go ahead, Al. You talk. I'm going to look up the one I was looking for.
All right, buddy. I don't mind talking. Let me see. Military veterans who received the psychedelic ibogaine treatment saw dramatic and life-changing improvements in PTSD and depression. Stanford study finds. I'll tell you what. I agree with that wholeheartedly. I know I had an experience last summer, and it was definitely mind-altering and life-changing.
I hear that. I remember that event. I was there for
Tiffany,
that.
welcome in.
Welcome in, everybody. We appreciate you guys coming in and checking out what's going on with us.
Mm-hmm.
Really do. Where was it that I was reading? One of the states. It was Kentucky. That's what it was. One of the representatives of Kentucky wants to make it to where you can't have more than, however they measure your blood. You can't have more than 5, or you can't have more than 4. If you're 5 or higher, then they say you're intoxicated. Well, man, you smoke a joint, you're going to be higher than a 5. They've already said that.
Yeah.
So you're telling me that someone that's been smoking for 10, 15, 20 years smokes a joint, gets behind the wheel of a car, that they're intoxicated? I don't think so. I disagree with that. Yeah. I don't think it should be treated the same way that alcohol is treated when it comes to that, because I don't drink. I know for a fact if I had 2 shots, I should not get behind the wheel of my car because I will be intoxicated. I will not be safe on the road.
Same.
I won't. I refuse to drink alcohol and drive.
Yeah.
It's a rule I've had ever since I was an MP.
Yeah.
But to smoke a joint, to smoke a bowl, to smoke a blunt, wait a little bit and then go drive, I'm totally fine. Shit.
Yeah.
Look, I'll be the first one to admit I drive and smoke because driving long distances hurts.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
every hour or so, I'll smoke a joint while I'm driving.
I get that.
That's just me. I'm not saying everybody should. And I know I'm breaking the law by doing it, and I'm not recommending anyone else do that. But I'm telling you, I can still maintain fine to drive after smoking a joint. But this representative is trying to say that one joint, they're too intoxicated to drive down the road. That's total bullshit, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Tiffany said, I agree. Plus, you can still test at a 5 if you didn't smoke for 12 hours.
Correct.
It is in your system, in your fat cells.
Yep.
Thanks,
So
Tiffany.
They need I think it's the University of Washington that is working on a better test to test levels of someone for a DUI. And it has to do with a mouth swab, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
The amount of THC in your mouth at the time of your test, because that lets them know how recent it was that you smoked, is what they're saying.
Okay.
So, but that still doesn't mean, again, if I smoke a joint, get done with that joint, put my shoes on, grab my wallet, grab my cell phone, go out to my car, head to the store, I'm not intoxicated. I'm not unsafe to drive. I'm just not.
Yeah.
Now, if I was brand new to smoking weed, 10, 11 years ago when I first started smoking medically, because up until then, I only smoked a couple times recreationally when I was a teenager.
Yeah.
When I was new to smoking weed, would I get behind the wheel of a car after a joint? No, because I was high. I was fucking high.
Absolutely.
But I'll tell you what, I would rather you smoke a joint and be someone that's been taking that medicine for a few years and get behind the wheel of a car than you be someone that just took your fentanyl medicine and get behind the wheel of a car.
Yeah.
Because I guarantee my driving is safer than yours.
Or drink a beer. Drink a beer. And get behind the wheel.
Yep.
Yeah. I guarantee our driving is same.
Yep. What's going on, Ron? How are you tonight? Appreciate everybody that came in to watch
Ron.
the live. Really do. Doug, how are you? So what else you got there, Al? Anything else on your end? Because I've got a few more articles I'd like to talk about.
Well, you go ahead with one. I've been hogging this up pretty good.
Scientists have finally broke the barrier. They know exactly the reason that marijuana causes the munchies. They did a study on mice, and after they let the mice inhale some THC, they did a brain scan, and they found that there is a chemical in the brain that activates in a certain part of the brain, which gives you the munchies. It's a particular chemical that is found in marijuana that when it gets into your brain where your cannabinoids, thank you, receptors are in there, because we were actually designed to accept THC in our system, as human beings. Anyways, when this chemical gets in there and interacts with it, it gives you the munchies. Yeah. So they know exactly which chemical. So my thinking is that there's going to be 10 years from now, there's going to be a strain out there that does not have that particular chemical in the strain, so you don't get the munchies at all. Now, there are certain strains that you can smoke and it's supposed to not give you the munchies as bad or even not give you the munchies. And my guess is that those strains are missing or have lower doses of that chemical than, say, the other strains are out there that, man, when I smoke weed, I get the munchies like a fiend. That's why I eat candy. That's why all the food from the green room is set next to me, because we raided the green room and took all the food out so I could snack on it when I got the munchies.
Well, can you imagine the marijuana dispensaries say, I give them 10 years for, taking and making everything so streamlined and with new products and stuff coming out. I give them 10 years and we're going to see some amazing stuff coming out.
Yep.
In the form of weeds, like pre-rolls and stuff like that. It's like funky meshes together. And also whenever you start smoking, the cannabinoids kick in and they give you your rush. They also give you your pain relief.
Yep.
And it's a good thing.
Look,
it really is.
Every year it seems like they advance more and more. Now that cannabis is more streamlined, and different scientists and universities are actually studying what it does, and it seems like every year they get more and more understanding of cannabis.
I agree.
11 years ago, you could have told me, there's such thing as terpenes. I said, what the hell is a terpene?
Yeah.
Hey, thanks for telling me there's such thing as terpenes. Well, let me get your highest level of THC you got. Well, now I know when I go into the dispensary, it's not the highest level of THC they got. It's the certain strains that have certain terpenes that work best for my body that I'm looking for.
Yep.
I shop based on terpenes now instead of THC levels. THC levels don't mean anything no more to me. It's all about the terpenes now. It's understanding what your body needs for what it is for your purpose of smoking. And mine is for pain. And I know that there's terpenes out there that are great for pain. Girl Scout cookies is one of them that has a lot of that terpene in it. But how we've talked about this before, lavender has that same terpene for pain. And you said you've tried the lavender mixed in with your cannabis and it really works for you.
Yep.
Yeah, I can't get rid of the smell of lavender to smoke it, man. I just can't.
It's weird because whenever I smoke that, I get an aftertaste of allspice.
Yep, you're saying that.
And it's weird, it is how that happened, but hey, whatever, it works.
Yes. Yes, Brian, I agree. Once the government gets involved, everything changes.
Believe it or not, here's one. UFC formally removes marijuana from the banned substances list for professional fighters.
That is a huge thing. A huge thing because there are several fighters that are openly cannabis positive. What was his name? Dave Mortiz? No. I can't think of his name, but he's a well-known fighter. And when he's not fighting, he's smoking weed. And then when he knows he's got a fight coming up, he stops for the 30 days advance for the drug test. He passes the drug test. He trains. He fights. And as soon as the fight's over, he's smoking weed.
Yeah.
But now he doesn't have to worry about giving it up and continue to smoke it while he's fighting, which is awesome. I think it's a great thing. I really do.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think out there? Do you think all sports should take cannabis off of their banned substance list? Or do you think what they're doing is right and an NFL player shouldn't go play football after smoking a joint? What do you think? I don't see a problem with it.
I don't see a problem with it either.
Well, get a halftime, going in there and smoking a joint real quick because you're hurting, and going back out on the field. As long as it doesn't interfere with your performance that your team expects you to have, doesn't slow you down or whatever, fucking go for it. That's how I see it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And that's going to be a huge establishment in the cannabis field.
Yep.
Once all the sporting events go green, there can't be an issue.
Exactly. And just look, the UFC was the first one to step up. first professional sports organizations step up and say, you know what? We're going to allow our fighters to smoke cannabis and not worry about drug testing for cannabis. Because that should be. There shouldn't be any drug testing for cannabis for jobs. There shouldn't be any drug testing for cannabis for fucking sports either.
No.
That's my personal opinion. And again, our opinions are ours, nobody else's.
Yep.
So don't go running off saying, "Oh, well, this is how everybody feels." That's friends with Leigh Hacker, part of different groups that Leigh Hacker's a part of. Nope, I'm speaking for myself and nobody else.
Absolutely. Absolutely, buddy.
Let's see. Marijuana study comparing U.S. and Canada finds broad legalization support and similar use rates despite differing national policies. In other words, 50% of both nations feel that cannabis should be legal because the study found that at least 50% of both nations are partaking with cannabis. You know, years ago, nobody would admit that they were smokers because they were afraid they'd get in trouble. They were afraid law was going to come knock on their door and take away their kids because, you know, they're sitting in their bathroom by the exhaust fan, smoking out of a pipe to get relief from the day, while their next door neighbors down in the 12-pack and a half bottle of Perks.
Yeah.
You know, but that person's doing it legally because that's all legal. But the guy that's sitting in his bathroom smoking is scared that if anyone found out that he smoked, he'd lose his job, lose his kids, lose his house and everything. Fuck all that bullshit. Now people are openly saying, hey, yes, weed should be legal. And yes, I smoke it.
Heck yeah. Absolutely.
What's up, Marcia?
Hey, Marcia. You know, we've been fighting the stigma of weed since we started this show. And by God, I can't wait until we break through that barrier. It's scheduled 1. Everything's calm, cool, collected, and we can do us and they can do them. And, you know, nobody gives a shit.
Exactly. Diff, I love that. Tiffany's not smoking. I'm proud. Best medicine ever. Amen to that.
Yep. Absolutely.
Amen to that. I totally agree with you 100%. Look, again, back to the Tylenol and cannabis. My weed is safer than Tylenol. You know, nobody's ever died from too much weed. They just have it. But people die from too much Tylenol.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Every day.
Now, are there assholes in the world that are lacing weed that are selling on the black market with fentanyl to make their weed a little bit stronger and hope that people will come back because their weed's the best weed around because it's the better weed? Oh, yeah. And those motherfuckers need to be buried under the prison when they get caught putting fentanyl on weed.
Yep.
You don't need to do anything to weed. Just fucking sell your weed and smoke it.
Yeah, exactly.
What are you doing putting fentanyl on the weed? That pisses me off so much. We went through. I think I've already told you this, but maybe some of the people in the audience haven't heard. This past summer, in one weekend, we had 26 overdoses, and it was all from weed because it was all fentanyl overdoses. But they found out that they were getting the fentanyl in their weed.
Oh wow!
They found the person that was selling that weed and popped them for the deaths of all 26 people.
Good.
That's how it should be.
Or good.
That's exactly how it should be.
Absolutely. Yep. Absolutely. Yeah, weed doesn't need anything in it.
Oh,
it's perfect just the way it is, you know.
Yes, it is.
The nice thing of it is, the people that are highly against weed are probably the people that are not sensitive to indica. Most people, for their first time smoking, someone's going to hand them indica and say, here, try this. And whether or not you react to that is how you're going to form your perceptions on weed.
Yep.
So we have to try and get rid of that.
We do. What else did I read recently? So medical marijuana is similarly effective as opioids for treating pain, but with fewer adverse events. Study finds. In other words, you ain't gonna die from it.
Yeah, exactly.
You're not gonna be, a zombie from smoking too much weed. I know too many people that hold full-time jobs that smoke weed before they go to work. They go out to their car on their breaks and smoke weed, and they continue work. And then when they come home, they smoke weed, and they work just fine. But buddy, what was the last time you were in Pittsburgh? I'll just use Pittsburgh. It's a pretty big city near you, right?
Yeah.
When was the last time you were in Pittsburgh?
I was there 2 weeks ago.
Did you drive around by any chance and see the people with the zombie lean, where they're just leaning from being OD'd, overdosed on fentanyl, on oxys, whatever it is that they're partaking.
Yeah,
and they're laid out, strung out, whatever it is, on the streets. It's crazy. I see pictures all the time of my old area in Seattle, where people are literally like standing still, but they're leaning back, and they call it the fentanyl lean because they're so fucked up. Oh yeah, buddy. Oh yeah. It's sad is what it is.
Yeah.
These people, I guess weed wasn't strong enough for them. I guess they were looking for something a little bit more, and they go to the harder substances. I remember as a kid, people saying, "Oh, weed is a gateway drug. It's a gateway drug." No, it's not. The only thing weed is a gateway to is my refrigerator. Goddamn it, because I get the munchies.
Yep.
Alcohol is the gateway drug.
We've been lied to.
Oh, don't get me started on being lied to by our government.
Yeah, I know.
You know how I feel about that.
Yep.
Fuck our government.
Same as I do.
Fuck every politician that banned the weed, and every politician since then that has said that weed has no medical benefits and weed should not be legalized and blah, blah, blah. Because I guarantee every single one of them motherfuckers' pockets are fat from the pharmaceutical and the alcohol companies, paying them to make sure that they don't allow cannabis, because cannabis is safer than both.
Yep.
It can be cheaper than both.
Yep.
And it's hard for those companies to make money off of something that people can grow at their own home.
Yeah. Absolutely. And that's, I'm hoping that once Pennsylvania goes recreational, that they include something that we can grow, 2 or 3 plants a year, or 5 or 10 or whatever.
Yep. So, I'm originally from Washington State.
Yeah.
And I was a medical patient out in Washington State. And as a medical patient, we could grow our own cannabis. As a medical patient, you can grow your own medicine.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
That's cool.
But recreationally, you can't grow.
Okay.
You had to buy from the state. Well, the reason I'm bringing this up, and you started it, so I'm going to finish it.
Okay.
You brought it up, and I got an article about it. Washington lawmakers hear multiple marijuana bills, including home cultivation, and they're trying to limit the amount of THC.
I know.
Some politician. You ready for this?
Yep.
They've seen cannabis THC levels as high as 99% of the plant is THC. What?
Yeah, okay.
What?
Ain't gonna happen.
They want to cap it at 35% THC is the most they can sell in the state. What?
Well, realistically, I haven't had anything over 35.
I've not either. The only time I've had, when it comes to the flower, now certain concentrates, certain dabs have higher THC.
You can get 98% or 99% THC.
Exactly. But they're saying that the plants themselves are as high as 99% THC.
No way.
Dude, you've smoked too much weed to come up with those numbers.
No, I don't know what he's been smoking, but it ain't worth shit. He better get straightened up. Hopefully he sees his podcast.
That'd be amazing. Shit,
Heather says hello. Hello, Heather.
What's up, baby? So I'm looking on the article. I can't remember how many plants they were saying that this bill would allow them to grow. But here's how I look at it. It should be no less than 4.
Yeah.
You should be allowed to grow no less than 4 plants. That should be your minimum number.
Yeah.
Man, you should be allowed to grow as many as you want on your property. That's how I feel about it. You know, if I want to grow a field of corn on my land so I can eat corn all year, why can't I grow a field of fucking weed so I can have weed all year?
Yeah. Wow, could you imagine having a whole wow.
How about Field of Dreams?
That'd be yeah, exactly, right?
Kevin Costner would come and visit me, I think, if I had a Field of Dreams like that.
Wow. Absolutely. That would be fun though.
It would be amazing. It would be amazing.
Mhm.
Yeah, I thought for sure it said earlier how many it was that they were trying to minimize people into growing. And I want to say that it was only 4, which 4, you know, that should be the minimum number. It shouldn't be the maximum number.
Yes.
You know?
Exactly.
Six plants is what they're recommending.
Nice.
That anyone over the age of 21 that lives in a house should not be allowed to grow more than 6 plants. So is it going to be like Ohio? Ohio, if I'm not mistaken, is 6 plants per person in your house that's over the age of 21.
But at what stage? Is it
in flower? In flower.
Yeah, but flower has many stages, you know, whenever it's in it. So you're just allowed 6 plants.
No. When I say in flower, that's when they have the nugs that are growing on it. That's in flower.
Okay.
In bloom. I'm sorry, in bloom.
In bloom.
No more 6 plants in bloom.
Okay.
So that's fine. So that means that me and my wife and my mom, all 3 of us live together.
Yep.
We should be able to grow 6 plants each. You know, 3 times 6, that's 18, if I'm not mistaken. If my math from 3rd grade is still right, that's 18. So I should be able next year to go out in my backyard, dig up a section of my yard, and put in 16 fucking weed seeds and grow 16 plants.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, have you seen some of these grows that they do in Oregon? Because Oregon is one of those states that limits you to 4 per household, not per person, per household. Dude, these things look like apple trees.
Really?
They're fucking, people are up on ladders trimming them to help them grow more and more. And they're just huge. Huge. They are in, you know, most people grow in a 5-gallon cloth pot. That's how I used to grow mine.
That's what I do.
Okay. These people are growing in 25-gallon pots.
Wow.
Or they're building up their soil and they're planting, they're growing it in the summer in like a green, or in the winter in a greenhouse. And, you know, in the greenhouse with the way the light works, it won't go into bloom. It'll just keep growing.
Yeah.
And then they're bringing them out at the beginning of spring, putting them in the ground. And next thing you know, by harvest time, they've got these fucking trees, dude. I mean, the stalks on the base is like this.
Wow.
You can't get your hand around the stalk. That's how you grow weed.
Yeah, man.
That's how you grow weed.
Well, I know there's a company that takes said stalks, though, after they are done with them, and they turn them into canes. Awesome freaking canes.
Really? That's cool.
Yes. I can't remember.
Be too big to grab for one person, but I understand what you're saying.
Yeah. Yep. They taper the ends down, and
I agree, Marshall.
It's pretty cool. Like I said, I forget the company that makes it, but
I just but we were talking about growing. I just read an article this morning. There's a gentleman in Minnesota that teaches a class the second to last Tuesday of each month.
Mm-hmm.
He teaches a free growing class at a local tavern.
That's awesome.
And they're growing this cannabis that he's teaching with inside there. They have a grow tent and everything. He's showing you how to grow cannabis. I think that's awesome. I think there should be more people that have been growing for years illegally, maybe coming forward and saying, you know what? I've got the knowledge. Let me help you so you can grow your own medicine, or you can grow your own cannabis, however you want to word it.
Yeah.
There should be way more people doing that. But I would love to get a hold of this gentleman and bring him on the podcast and ask him, number one, how long you've been growing for, but number two, why are you so willing to help people out, and see what he says.
Absolutely. That would be cool.
That'd be really cool. So I think I'm going to reach out to that gentleman because I found his information today. I think I found him on Facebook.
Yep. There's a study that finds both cancer survivors who used marijuana reported a great degree of symptomatic improvement, which is awesome.
That is awesome. That is awesome. You know, we have a very good friend of ours that is going through chemo yet again right now.
Yeah.
They had their first treatment of chemo today. First thing they did was came home and smoked weed because it helps with the nausea.
Yep. And it also helps the appetite.
Yes, it does. It does. Helps them because it helps with nausea, but at the same time, it gives them the munchies so they will eat something because most people, when they go through chemo, they get sick, they puke, they don't have enough nutrients in their system. They don't want to eat because the chemo makes them just not want to have any desire for food.
Yeah.
You go smoke some weed, you get the munchies. You don't have desire for food.
Oh,
That is
yeah,
the most
absolutely.
definite. That is a most definite situation right there. But yeah. So let's see, what else do I have over here? I think that's it. Oh no, I do got one more.
Okay.
Medical marijuana is similarly effective as opioids. Did I already say that, for treating pain with fewer adverse events? I did read that one already. That to me is between the fact that the federal scientists are saying that yes, there are medical benefits to it, and other doctors and scientists coming forward and saying, you know, it helps with pain just like opioids do without the side effects of opioids.
Yeah.
That's huge news for us.
Yeah.
For us as medical patients, that's huge news. We've already known this. I already knew that it helped my pain like the opioids do. But if I take a handful of fucking oxys, I probably won't wake up. If I smoke an ounce of weed, I'll probably go to bed, sleep really good, and wake up munchy, hungry as shit. I want to have the side effects from the cannabis that I will from the oxys, which are also killing your kidneys, you know, causing liver issues. There was that one podcast where we talked about just the side effects of a cancer treatment drug. The side effects alone would kill people, or can kill people.
Yep. Absolutely.
What the fuck? And this is legal to fucking give to people? Yet cannabis is harmful? Get the fuck out of here. I don't get it.
I know.
It's things that make you go, what the fuck were they talking about and thinking at the time? Man, oh man. Let's see. Who said that? Marcia said the docs here are like you like you smoke weed. Yes, I do. Can you give me a prescription of course not, but here some Vicodin for the pain. No, I'm good. Yeah, no shit. They want to give you the pharmaceutical meds because, you know, that's what they're trained for, and that's where their pockets get lined. You know, they get kickback from these drug companies. It's been proven time and time again. Oxy's the family that came out with Oxycontin. The company that came out with Oxycontin, the pharmaceutical company, was owned by a family, and they falsified information. They got government officials to lie about information by paying them. They got these doctors. They gave these doctors kickbacks, throwing big parties, you know, in Vegas to come down. Paid for prostitutes for doctors. Chance that the doctors would prescribe more and more of their products, so they would sell more.
Yeah,
it's nuts, man.
Yeah, it is.
It's just it's plain nuts. It's plain nuts. You know,
I think it's time for another campfire.
Well, shit, I just smoked that joint, but hang on, let me spark up another one. I think I got a little half one over here.
There you go.
You count us down. I'm ready.
All righty. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Campfire, y'all.
Campfire. Yeah, man. So if there's anyone out there watching right now, and you know anyone in the cannabis industry, whether they're a bud tender, whether they're a grower, even if they grow privately at home,
Yeah.
reach out to us. You can reach us at twofatbuds@gmail.com. I'll put that back up. twofatbuds@gmail.com. Give us their contact information. We will contact them and get them on our show so that we can maybe help educate other people about cannabis through them. We're also looking for glass blowers. We're looking for you musicians that cannabis helps them, influences their creativity and stuff. Still working on getting Muck Sticky on here for you, brother. The man's busy.
Yeah.
That man's busy.
I understand. Yeah, anybody that can help us, please get a hold of us and we can have a good time together. Find out what you do. You grow. That's cool. We want to hear about it.
Yeah. No, Marcia, no. The answer to your question you just asked, the answer is no. Stoner Granny is Nora. But Marcia said earlier, Richmond, north of Richmond, that's what it's all about. If anyone's not familiar, that is I believe he goes by Oliver North Productions. And the young man came out with a song called Richmond, north of Richmond. And it's all about how the politicians are getting richer and richer while people are getting poor and poorer. And they're passing tax laws and stuff to keep fucking people over. And it's ridiculous. They just keep getting richer and we keep getting poorer. That's all there is to it. Buddy, when was the last time you went grocery shopping?
It's been a couple weeks.
So
I know I'm gonna have sticker shock.
Buddy, let me tell you, just since December, I think everything's went up another like 3% to 8%. I really do.
That's insane.
Yeah, it's nuts. It's nuts.
That's insane. Yeah, Stoner Granny says, I'm just Stoner Granny. LOL.
That's right.
Damn straight you are. And we appreciate you coming in here. We appreciate all of
you. Show. So we appreciate that. And we appreciate everyone that comes in and is watching us right now. And even those that tune into us after we're not live no more to watch the videos. We appreciate you. You can subscribe to Two Fat Buds on YouTube. If you're not already subscribed, look us up, Two Fat Buds on YouTube. Please subscribe. We're always looking for more subscribers. Or you can find us on Facebook at Two Fat Buds. We have a page on there that you can follow. And we put our latest podcast up on there all the time. And talk about any podcasts in which we'll have guests coming up. I'm working on a guest. I'm working on a guest for next week or the week after. Someone that owns a small business that is a cannabis mom. And I want to get her on here and talk about how does she maintain a small home business and be a cannabis mom at the same time type thing. And let her promote her business on our show, which I think will be beneficial for her and for us. I know who she feel good to help. Makes me feel good to help out small businesses. It really does.
Absolutely. And like I said, I think I know who that is.
You probably do. I tried to get her on here tonight, but things didn't work out. She didn't have anyone. Her husband had to work late. So she couldn't make the 8 o'clock time with the kids there because they're not in bed by then. But we're trying to schedule. She's trying to work it out with him, with the hubby, so that either next week or the week after, he knows he'll be home Thursday night to keep the kids entertained so that she can come on the podcast. And while she's on here, show us what it is, what her goods are, and maybe how she makes one or two of them, kind of thing. She'll have an hour to talk. So I say we bring her on and help her out if we can.
Absolutely. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm always all about helping small businesses and shopping small businesses. There's what is it, Black Friday, and then is it that Saturday after Black Friday? They call it Small Business Saturday or something like that.
Yeah.
And they encourage people to go to small businesses and do their shopping. And we used to do that. We used to do that quite a bit.
Absolutely, we did. And then we'd go to the big cities, for like Christmas shopping and stuff like that.
Yep.
I can remember coming down to uh, Pittsburgh to, go Christmas shopping, and man, the buildings were so tall whenever I was a little kid.
Yep.
Just amazed me.
It's crazy. It's crazy. There might be a few people on here that have never been to a major city. But I'll tell you what, walking downtown in a major city with your neck like this, because all you're doing is staring at how tall those buildings are.
Yep.
Yeah, you'll wind up the first day, you'll wind up with a sore neck from looking up so much.
Yep.
I was fortunate enough. I grew up really close to a big city, and we were in that big city quite a bit. But I'll never forget the first time I came to Cincinnati. Cincinnati's got some pretty tall buildings. At one time, Cincinnati had the tallest building in the United States until the Eiffel Tower, or until the Empire State Building was built.
Oh, wow.
Until then, the Crew Tower in Cincinnati was actually the tallest building in the United States.
Mm-hmm.
Until the Empire State Building got built. And I've been at the bottom of that looking up, and I've been on the top of that in the observation deck looking down. And I much prefer being on the ground looking up than I like being up there and looking down. I'll tell you that right now, because this boy is scared of heights.
Same here, buddy. Same here.
My butthole puckers up tighter than shit, son. And I'm holding on to that rail as I'm looking over it going, God damn, that's fucking far.
And them damn jokesters with the glass lookout decks that they crack on, and fucking scare the shit out of you.
Scare the shit out of you.
I would beat yeah, absolutely.
Well, have you seen, I think it's in Vegas. No, I think it's in Chicago. The Sears Tower in Chicago. They have a glass slide on the side of their building.
Really?
You go out through one or two stories up.
Yeah.
Way the fuck up there.
Yeah.
But it's like a 2-story drop. So you go out, we'll say on the 70th floor, and it's all glass. And you can look down the whole 9 yards, and you sit down on like a potato sack.
Yeah.
And you slide down a glass slide 2 floors and level out. So when you start out, you're on 70. And when you come out the bottom, you're on the 68th floor. But it's on the outside of the building. You're looking at, oh, hell no.
Nope.
Nope. Keep that to yourself.
Nope. No way, man.
Yeah, I am not
and you guys can call us anything you want to. Nope.
Yeah.
Just don't work that way.
What's going on, Billy? Yeah, I am not a fan of heights.
Hey, Billy, welcome in.
When I got out of the military, I did take a job for the cable companies installing cable for anything from the pole to inside the house. I was responsible for. And when we got trained, in the military, there are certain things you got to do where you got to get up in the heights, and you just suck it up and do it.
Yeah.
And being up on a telephone pole, that's pretty high.
Oh yeah.
In my opinion. But when you go to these big cities and you go up these observation decks and you're up 70, 80 floors looking down, dude, that's high.
Oh yeah.
And that shit puckered me up quick.
Absolutely.
Oh man.
Hey, how about a campfire? You need to call another one out, please.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Campfire, y'all.
Thank you. Campfire.
Billy, you're in the chat. I see you over there. You still here, Billy? Wait for him to respond if he's still here or not.
Super shy around new people on camera. Okay.
Yes, you are, Marsha. Yes, you are.
That's
cool. Once
she
gets to the, she'll jump on camera with you and talk to you.
Yep.
We got quite a few people like that in the campfire.
Yeah.
Shit, look at Jules. I've known Jules now for almost 3.5 years.
Yep.
I've never seen the girl's face.
I did. One time.
I know you did. I ask her every year for the exact same thing for my birthday. Turn the camera around. Let me see what you look like. And you know what I get every year for my birthday?
No.
Not her. He will not do it.
No.
Oh man, I was hoping Billy was still in here, but I think he left already. That's a shame. I was going to ask him because Billy kind of grew up in a small town.
Yeah.
I was going to ask him if he's ever been to any big cities and what he thought the first time he went to them, and if he's ever been up on any observation decks.
Yeah.
It's weird. I can go live, but I have a safe group of people there. Yes, Marsha, you do. That's over on TikTok. It's with Hallie and them, which Hallie's an amazing lady also herself. Anyways, buddy, what do you got coming up this week? You got anything going on this week?
Oh, let me see. What do I have coming up this week? I have absolutely nothing, believe it or not. Thank God.
Is Heather still here? Heather, are you still watching? She's probably not because she's out with her. She's over at her daughter's house spending time with the kids. Okay. Let's see if she responds.
What do you got going,
buddy? Honestly, nothing. Mama, unfortunately, is getting worse. As a matter of fact, I need to call her doctor and set up a new appointment so that he can reevaluate and maybe see how bad it's getting. Yeah. And I think she's on a anti-hallucinant. I think he needs to up her meds for that.
Okay.
She's still in her room talking to people, and she swears up and down they're in there with her. But when I walk in and I ask her, Mom, who you talking to? Well, you don't see the little boy standing in the corner? No, Mom, I don't. Ain't nobody there. Nobody's there. But she's hearing our conversations. And so I think she needs her anti-hallucinants updated or the amount raised. But
adjusted.
Yeah, adjusted. But it is what it is, dementia is a hell of a fucking disease.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely. It really is. I couldn't imagine being in my mom's body and my mom's mind. When she comes to talk to me, she thinks that she made perfect sense. And what she says isn't even a complete sentence.
Yeah.
I'm like, Mom, I'm sorry. I don't understand what you're trying to get across to me. I understood every word you said, but it didn't make sense. And it just didn't work for me to understand what you're trying to get across to me is what I tell her. And she it's okay. It's okay. I don't know. And she'll walk away. And I feel bad. Yeah. Sometimes I can figure out what it is that she wants. Sometimes I have no clue, man. None.
Yeah.
It's rough. It's rough, dude. It's rough.
I'm sure it is. I did the same thing with my mom. I don't know if you remember that or not. She had breast cancer and decided that she wanted her last days to be at home.
Yeah.
So she was at home and I took care of her 24/7.
Gotcha. Yeah, mom has begged me and begged me before she got as bad as she is now. And I think if I was to ask her, Mom, where do you want to spend the rest of your life? She tells me all the time. She wants to stay in the house as long as she possibly can.
Absolutely.
And I'm doing everything I can to make sure that that's what she gets. Mm-hmm. And sometimes when I shut my door and I shut my curtain, I sit in here and I'm just so frustrated, man. But I never let her see that. I never do. Because it's not her fault, and she doesn't deserve to have to think that she's upsetting me.
Yeah.
So it is what it is.
It is.
All righty, Al. Anything else you got on your end, buddy?
No, I don't believe so. Maybe another 5 count.
Well, let's do one more 5 count, and then I say we call it a evening.
Yep.
So you count this one down.
All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Campfire, y'all.
Campfire. All righty, Skunkle Al. Well, as always, it's been fun.
Absolutely.
I love doing these podcasts with you, brother. I appreciate it. And everybody out there in the crowd that's been in here talking to us and watching us, appreciate you guys coming in every Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern. We go live here on Facebook and on YouTube. You can find us at either place. Absolutely. So until next week, peace and love. We'll catch you next week. Thank you.
Much love.